Alrighty, folks, how about DVDs? Oh, yeah. Okay, there's some actually very good DVDs coming out, and I wanted you to know before the weekend, so I'm going to tell you about, I think there are 5 of them. Extraordinary Measures is based on a true story. They say inspired by a true story, which means that they can mess around with the details a bit. It stars Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser. Kerry Russell plays the wife. It's not exactly an uplifting story till the very end. The idea is that there's a couple who have kids with a genetic disorder, and so they're trying to find a cure for it. And Dad actually works for a pharmaceutical company, and Harrison Ford is kind of a cranky scientist who decides to get on board if he can get the money. It's a great cast. I'm not sure why it didn't work terribly well. But I think people want to see Harrison Ford playing a different kind of character, and maybe Brendan Fraser as well. Maybe George of the Jungle or something. But it's a perfect DVD in that it's got strong performances. It's kind of a Lifetime movie of the week, to be quite honest. Maybe that was the problem with it. But with strong performances. So this may be one that you'd like to sort of rent on DVD. Again, good performances. An even better one to rent on DVD is Invictus. This is Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, I think they were both nominated for Oscars, actually, on this one. It's directed by Clint Eastwood. I thought Matt Damon was fabulous in this. I mean, I think it was really his movie to a certain extent. Morgan Freeman was playing Morgan Freeman again. He was playing Nelson Mandela, and he was terrific. But I'm not sure again why this one didn't quite work. It didn't have much of a heart to it, even though the performances were great, and Morgan Freeman sort of looks like Nelson Mandela as well. But it was more Matt Damon's movie. It didn't do very well. It's a 2+ hour movie, 2 hour and 15 minute movie, and it made under $40 million, which for stars of this magnitude was not a lot of money. I think that they really expected better for it, and everybody was looking for it to do Oscar sort of winnings, and it didn't. I'm not sure why it didn't, and I think it just got flat. The most interesting part, it was really a yawn of a movie until the very end, and the most memorable part, as far as I was concerned, other than Morgan Freeman looking exactly like Nelson Mandela, was that the South African team. The story is the South African soccer team, and sort of getting past apartheid, and a black leader and a white team that was very racist beforehand. So it united the country as far as he was concerned. The most interesting part was the Maoris, who they fought, who they were in the World Cup with, because they had this really kind of cool tribal moves, and that's what I remember from the movie. Not a good sign. The Messenger. This was a movie that I thought was a great companion piece to The Hurt Locker. It's Ben Foster and Woody Harrelson. This is what Woody Harrelson won his nomination for, and he was terrific in this one. This was a movie I thought that should have gotten a lot more press than it did. It only made $1 million, and because it's a tough story. The messengers are the people who go around to the families and tell them when a loved one has been killed in action. And it's certainly Woody Harrelson's best job in a long time, in a very good year. He was in 3 really good movies last year. The Spy Next Door is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's Jackie Chan, George Lopez, and Billy Ray Cyrus. And Amber Valletta plays the next door neighbor who has a crush on Jackie. Yeah, a lot of real life situations there. Jackie Chan is kind of charming and adorable, and he doesn't get to do very much, but your kids will like it. Valentine's Day has got. Wait till you hear this cast. This was a movie that was expected to do very well, and it made like $100 million, but I suspect that's what the cast called. The cast cost, and it was directed by Gary Marshall, but it didn't hold together. I mean, it was really a mess. Everything there was predictable. Each of the stars. I mean, listen to the cast: Julia Roberts, Patrick Dempsey, Jessica Alba, Kathy Bates, Hector Elizondo, Jamie Foxx, Anne Hathaway, Jennifer Garner, Jessica Biel, Topher Grace, Bradley Cooper, Eric Dane. The 3 of us are the only people who were not in that movie. But each of it was stale stuff. You didn't really care very much about it. Didn't work very well. But it did make $100 million, so, and it'll probably be rented on Valentine's Day. There are much better movies to see on Valentine's Day. So if I were going to pick one DVD for the week, I'll tell you what I'd pick, which isn't what anybody else is going to pick. I'd pick The Messenger, just because it's a really good movie. But Invictus will do you well. Extraordinary Measures, The Kids for Spy Next Door. So some decent choices for DVDs this week. Okay, Shrek will probably clean up the box office, even without the publicity they wouldn't expect. I should also tell you, Sam Gruber. It is the most boring movie you've ever seen. I mean, it's not even that it's funny or crude. It's a 3-minute sketch that's bloated to 90 minutes. It's not funny. I mean, Val Kilmer's in it. Powers Booth is in it. It's not funny. It's just not anything. It's boring. I mean, and that's not a good sign. It's not funny. It's not violent enough to be stomach churning. It's not funny at all. It's just stupid. And it's not stupid funny. It's just stupid boring of something's got to happen. I sat through it for about an hour thinking something's got to happen. It didn't. 800-544-7070. More details at drjoyreviews.com. 800-544-7070. I'm Dr. Joy Browne.